Good morning students, and let me welcome you all to my 11th video on the chapter solid state, right? It is 11th video, right? In the previous video we discussed something about the numerical problems on discussion density of a crystalline solid, right? We'll continue the same discussion, the sixth problem here under that particular section, numericals on calculations of density, right? Here it is one problem, right? An element with a molar mass 2.7 into 10 to the power of minus 2 kg per mole. We express that the molar mass of the atomic mass in terms of that is kg per mole, right? And it forms a cubic, yes it is unit cell. That is cubic unit cell means all sides of the unit cell are same, right? And cubic unit cell with a cell edge of with a cell edge length of 405 pm. Edge length is given, that is 405 pm. Yes, its density is given, that is 2.7 into 10 to the power of minus 3 kg per meter cube, right? And observe the density is given in terms of, yes it is kg per meter cube. Yes, what is the nature of the solid anta kelidare, right? In the formula we have this density, yes it is D equals Z into M into divided by A cube into, yes it is Avogadro number. Yes, this is the, yes it is the formula there. In order to decide the nature of the solid, you are supposed to calculate Z value, right? You are supposed to calculate Z value, because if Z is equal to 1, it will be of simple cubic unit cell. If Z is equal to 2, it will be of body-centered cubic unit cell, right? If it is Z is equal to 4, it will be, yes it is space-centered cubic crystal lattice. Because of that, you are supposed to calculate Z value here, right? And of course, molar mass, that is 2.7 into 10 to the power of minus 2 kg per mole. Yes, kg per mole, right? Okay, na? Then density is also given, that is 2.7 into 10 to the power of 3 kg per meter cube. Yes, this is, both are in the same units, right? And the edge length is important for us, that is 405 pm anta ide, right? 405 pm anta ide, and that's equal to 405 into 10 to the power of minus 12 meter. 405 into 10 to the power of minus 12 meter. And we can say that it is 4.05 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. This is edge length, right? Now look at this, I am expressing that edge length in terms of meter here, because problem requires expressing edge length in terms of meter here, because density is given in terms of kg per meter cube, molar mass is given in terms of kg per mole. If the molar mass is in terms of gram per mole, if the density is in terms of gram per cm cube, then you are supposed to express edge length in terms of centimeters. But all are in SI units, therefore I am expressing this in SI units, right? This is what we call it as the sample, the different parameters given. Then substitute here, yes, 2.7 into 10 to the power of 3 is equal to Z into, yes it is, what is M there? That is Z into 2.7 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by, right? Okay, na? And of course, 4.05 whole cube, or 4.05 into 10 to the power of minus 10 whole cube, yes, into, yes, that is Avogadro number is 6.02322 into 10 to the power of 23, right? Yes, this is the substitution here. And you decide Z here, that is, you calculate Z here, right? Okay, na? We'll see that simplification, right? Then we'll get some out one. Then 2.7 cancel body. Yes, no problem, right? Then we'll simplify that. Yes, it is Z value here, right? So let us simplify that particular, yes, it is value there, okay? Using calculator, you can make use of calculators, because it is also allowed in the exams also, right? The board exams, this calculator is allowed, therefore you can make use of it. Yes, 4.05 whole cube, right, into 6.022, right? 6.022, right? Yes, that's equal to, yes, I am multiplying this 405, yes, 4.05 whole cube into 6.022, right? Then ಇದನ್ನ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ 400.0 04, yes it is, into ಇದು 10 to the power of 3 ಇದೆ, yes 10 to the power of 3, ಇದು minus 10 3 into 3 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 10 to the power of minus 30 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, right, into 10 to the power of plus 23, yes, then divided by ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 10 to the power of minus 2, this is 10 to the power of minus 2, right, so ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಾನು ಈಗ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 10 to the power of minus 2, ಓಕೆನಾ. ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನು ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ, equal to 400 into minus 27, right, minus 27 plus 23 is 10 to the power of minus 4 into 10 to the power of plus 2, that denominator goes to numerator and minus becomes plus. ಈಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಈಗ that's equal to 400 into 10 to the power of minus 2, right, minus 4 plus 2, right, and of course divided by 100 and rest. This is 4, this is what we call it as 4 is a z value, that is z value is 4, therefore that is yes it is the nature of the, yes it is solid is, it crystallizes by, that is solid crystallizes, solid crystallizes in FCC, solid crystallizes in FCC, face centered cubic unit cell, and this is what we call it as the calculation there, and you have to decide the nature of the solid. Nature of solid can be decided on the basis of z value there. If z value varies, nature of the solid varies, okay na. So this is what we call the sixth problem under this particular section, right. So a screenshot tagobidi, okay na. We'll go to the next problem, 7th and 8th, right. Look at this. The problem number 7 here. A body centered cubic element, yes, having density 10.3 gram per cm cube, having density 10.3 gram per cm cube, has the edge length of 314 pm. Calculate the atomic mass of that element. Yes, that is the next problem, right. Write the given information first, right, that is as far as formula is concerned, d equals, that is density equals z into m divided by, yes it is a cube into na, this is the formula there. For BCC, body centered cubic element, you know, this is z is equal to 2 there, and you are supposed to calculate atomic mass m, and of course Avogadro number is known to you, that is 6.022, this is 10 to the power of 23 standard value there, and of course one more is h length, that is 314 pm picometer, yes, your okay, you have that atomic mass in terms of gram per, I mean density in terms of gram per cm cube, that is you have the density in terms of, yes it is 10.3 gram per cm cube, right, density is in terms of gram per cm cube, therefore yes it is you have to express that a value in terms of centimeter, that is 314 into 10 to the power of minus 12 meter, yes, then it is 314 into 10 to the power of minus 12, 1 meter can be replaced by 10 to the power of 2 centimeters, right, that's equal to 314 into 10 to the power of minus 10 centimeters, right, or you can say 314 can be written as 3.14 into 100, and then 10 to the power of 2 minus 10 plus 2 into 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeters. This is what we call it as edge length A, right, in terms of centimeters. ಹೌದಾ, ಈಗ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, so density equals, right, yes, z value is to 2, atomic mass ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, that is you are supposed to calculate that, yes, and of course A cube, that is 3.14 into 10 to the power of minus 8 whole cube into, yes, and of course Avogadro number, that is 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23. This is the substitution first, okay na, this is substitution, okay na, and that is equal to density, you know, 10.3 gram per cm cube, howda, then you need that m there, cross multiply ಮಾಡಿ, that is 3.14 whole cube ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 3.14 whole cube ಮಾಡಿ first, 3.14 whole cube, and that comes out to be around yes it is 30.95, yes, it comes out to be around 30.95, yes, into, and of course 6.022, right, into cross multiply ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, that is 10.3, ಓಕೆನಾ. It comes out to be around what we call it as 1920.29. ನೋಡಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತದೆ ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈಗ? Yes, it will be equal to 2, then it will be equal to, that is ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 2 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And of course here it is. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ you are supposed to write, that is -8 3 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? -8 into 3 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? -24, and it will be, yes it is -23 plus 23 ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತಿಲ್ಲ? 10 to the power of -1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, right? Then you divide this, divided by 2 ಮಾಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ. Divided by 2 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we're going to get 960.0 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಮತ್ತೆ 10 to the -1 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ it will be 960.1 divided by 10 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 96.01. That is gram per mole is the atomic mass of, yes it is the atomic mass of what we call it as a given element. If you want to express that in terms of kg, it will be 96.01 into 10 to the power of -3 kg per mole. ನೀವು ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನೀವು ಬರಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 9.6 into 10 to the power of -2 kg per mole, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈ ತರ ಬರಿಬಹುದು, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. This is what we call it as atomic mass in terms of, yes it is gram per mole. Yes, so this is what we call it as the 7th problem, and as far as the calculations on density is concerned, right? So that note it down and have a screenshot and write it properly, right? So this is the one more problem, right? So these are all the problems, or you can say this type of problems you can expect in the annual examination for 3 marks, right? In the annual examination for 3 or 2 marks, of course, right? So this is what we call it as the 7th problem, number 7. Okay, we'll see problem number 8 now. Yes, look at the problem number 8 here. We'll solve it. Yes, a metal crystallizes in FCC cubic lattice with a edge length of 0.566 nanometers. Calculate the density of the metal with atomic mass. Yes, it is 40 gram per mole. Yes, metal crystallized in FCC cubic lattice. Now that's Z is equal to 4. FCC and takshana Z is equal to 4. Atomic mass is 40 gram per mole. Yes, and of course Avogadro number is known to you, that is 6.022 10 to the power of 23, right? And of course edge length is also known to you, that is 0.566 nanometers, right? Convert the nanometers into centimeters. 0.566 into 10 to the power of -9 meters, right? That's equal to 0.566 into 10 to the power of -9 into 10 to the power of +2 centimeters, right? ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಮೀಟರ್ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, 10 to the power of 2 centimeters ಅಂತ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. That is 0.566 into 10 to the power of -7 centimeters ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, right? -9 plus 2, then that is rewritten as 5.66 into 10 to the power of -8 centimeters, right? ನೋಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ. 0.566 ಅನ್ನ 5.66 into 10 to the power of -8 ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಗೆ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. This is what we call it as edge length, right? And substitute all these values in the formula there. D is equal to Z into M divided by A cube into Avogadro number. Yes, okay na? Then that is D is equal to, right, Z is 4, and of course it is 40 there, right? 4 divided by, yes it is. Then A cube is 5.66 into 10 to the power of -8 whole cube. Yes, 5.66 into 10 to the power of -8 whole cube, right? Into 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23, right? This is what we call it as Avogadro number. Yes, and of course it is around 160 there, right? Around 160 agate. 4 into 40 is 160. You just go for the, yes it is cube of 5.66 there. 5.66 into, yes, it is 5.66 whole cube is around 181.3 into 6.022 multiply ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it will be 1091. Yes, 1091.91 into 10 to the power of -1, because -24 plus 23 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 10 to the power of -1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It goes to numerator, then it is 1600 The ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ 10 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 10 into this much is 1600 divided by 1091.91. And then you divide it, yes, 1600 divided by 1091.91. Yes, it comes out to be around 1.465, that is 1.4655 gram per cm cube. So this is what we call it as, yes, it is the density of that particular metal. Density of that particular metal. Yes. So therefore it is density is 1.4655 gram per cm cube. This is what we call it as the density calculations, right? So these are the problems, or you can say you can practice this type of problems, and as far as the density calculations are concerned. Yes, ಈ ತರ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 2 to 3 marks you can expect in the annual examination, right? So that is what we call it as calculations on density, right? Now at this moment we'll move on to the next topic that is very important for the examination point of view, that is defects in solids, right? Defects in crystalline solids. We'll see that. Yes, very interesting, right? As far as crystalline solids are concerned, in the case of crystalline solids, there is a orderly arrangement of the constituent particles in three-dimensional space, and same arrangement will be repeated again and again in all the directions, right? And that is what we call it as crystalline solids. But in spite of that orderly arrangement of the constituent particles in crystalline solids are characterized by certain defects, certain imperfections, certain disorders. Now ಏನೇ perfectly ordered arrangement is observed in the case of crystalline solids ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, there are some defects in a crystalline solids. There are certain defects because as far as perfectly ordered arrangement of the constituent particles in all the crystals is observed only at 0 kelvins. That is what we call it as absolute zero. You can get that 100% perfect crystalline solid, 100% perfect ideal crystalline solid is possible only at 0 Kelvin. That is absolute zero. That is absolute zero, right? Or you can say at minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. And this is what we call it as, at this particular temperature only you can find 100% perfect crystalline solid. That is ideal crystalline solid is possible only at minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. With a rise in temperature, you can expect some disorderedness. That entropy of a solid increases. Disorderedness in the crystalline solid increases. That imperfections will be increased with the increase in temperature. Yes, therefore, that variations in temperature of a crystalline solid will lead to the what we call it as defects in crystalline solids. Apart from that, even method of crystallization is also responsible for the defects in crystalline solids. That is, method of crystallization is also responsible for the defects in crystalline solids. Method of crystallization means that is whether the crystallization takes place very, very slowly or at a high speed. If the crystallization takes place at very, very slow rate, athwa if it is taking place at very, very slowly, that number of imperfections can be minimized, or you can say that you are going to get almost that is perfect crystalline solid. But in spite of that slow crystallization, you will find certain defects in a solid. That is what we call the defects in solids will be mainly because of what we call it as variations in temperature, presence of impurities, or you can say that method of crystallization, whether the crystallization process takes place very, very slowly or at a high speed. So these are the causes for the defects in crystalline solids. Okay, now. So next question comes in our mind is what we call it as, why should we study these defects? What are the importance of the study of defects in crystalline solids? ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೇನು ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಆ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. even though if it is in brief, we'll know that particular intention behind this particular discussion. Okay, na? As far as the defects in crystalline solids is concerned, it is going to decide certain properties of the crystalline solid. The certain properties like electrical conductance, mechanical strength, magnetic properties, hardness, all these things will be decided by imperfections. Not only that, these imperfections will be useful for improving properties of the crystalline solids. ಈ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲೈನ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ಗಳ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸನ್ನು ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲೈನ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್. ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಡಿ. ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ is a kind of negative term, but even we can make use of those defects for improving properties of the crystalline solids. Because of those defects only, we are converting silicon into a very good semiconductor by adding certain impurities. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಇರಕೂಡದು. ಈವನ್ ದೋಸ್ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲೈನ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ದ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲೈನ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲೈನ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ very very important. Okay na? And as far as defects are concerned, we have three types of defects in solids. And of course with respect to the crystalline solids, now crystalline solids ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ there are three kinds of it will be point defect. It will be a point defect, yes. Second, it will be what we call it as a line defect. Second, it will be line defect, yes. Third, it will be, yes, it is plane defect. These are the three types of defects that you will find in the case of crystalline solids, right? That is what we call it as point defect, line defect and plane defect. Just imagine one, yes, it is crystalline arrangement, yes, it is one, yes, it is crystal lattice where there is a orderly arrangement of the constituent particles. And of course, this is an example that I am giving in order to convince you what exactly that, yes, it is point defect, line defect and plane defect is concerned. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಡರ್ಲಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ as one crystalline solid. Yes, this is one crystal lattice, right? This is one crystalline solid. Yes. As far as point defect is concerned, in the case of point defect, if there is an irregularity or deviations from the orderly arrangement around a particular point, if the defect corresponds to one particular particle or one particular point, ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಆ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೀಮಿತ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, if that particular defect corresponds to one particular particle or one particular point in a crystal lattice, and that is called as point defect. The point defect refers to the defect in which there is an irregularity or deviation from the ideal arrangement of the particles. There is an irregularity or deviations from ideal arrangement of the constituent particles around a particular point, that is called as point defect. In the case of line defect is a defect in a crystalline solid that corresponds to a particles along one particular line. Yes, that is, if there is a irregularity or deviations from the ideal arrangement along one particular row, yes, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ರೋ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ರೆಗ್ಯುಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇದ್ರೆ, if the irregularity corresponds to a particular row of particles, then that particular irregularity is called as line defect. As far as plane defect is concerned, plane defect corresponds to a particular plane, that is in xy plane or yz plane or xz plane, because this is two dimension. Just imagine different layers over this. Similar kind of layers over this. Okay na? If you find the defects in a particular plane, ಅಥವಾ if the irregularity corresponds to a particular plane, or the particles of the plane are irregular ಅಥವಾ disordered, all the particles in plane, if they are disordered, ಅಥವಾ if there is no orderly arrangement of the particles in particular plane, and that particular defect corresponds to what? Yes, it is plane defect. These are the three types of, yes, it is defects there. And of course, as far as your syllabus is concerned, we are supposed to study only one kind of defect, that is what we call it as point defects. Yes, we'll see that point defects. Yes. This is what we call it as irregularity or, yes, it is deviation from ideal arrangement around one particular point in a point defect. So point defects will be of, yes, it is three types. Yes, it is one, it will be stoichiometric. Yes, it is stoichiometric defects. and of course there are point defects. Another is non-stoichiometric defect. Yes, it is non-stoichiometric defect, and of course third one is impurity defects. That is what we call it as impurity defect. These are the three types of, yes, it is point defects. Stoichiometric, yes, it is stoichiometric defect. Yes, it is stoichiometric. Okay, na? And as per before discussing the details of the stoichiometric and non-stoichiometric defect, what is that stoichiometric term refers to, right? What this term? Yes, it is stoichiometric refers to, right? We'll solve that particular discussion first, then we'll go to the details of it. As far as any crystals for that matter, for example, you take NaCl, or you can say calcium chloride. This is what we call it as one particular crystal. Yes. Okay, now, and in the case of NaCl, we have Na plus ions and of course Cl minus ions, right? Na plus ions or yes, it is Cl minus ions. So in this particular crystal, the ratio of the constituent particles of Na plus and Cl minus ions, you know that the ratio of constituent particles, like ratio of number of Na plus ions to Cl minus ions, is what we call it as 1:1. Look at that formula, Na1 and it is Cl1. This is a ratio of the constituent particles of sodium chloride, or ratio of Na plus to Cl minus ions in sodium chloride, that is 1:1. That is called as stoichiometry of ions, stoichiometry of elements in what we call it as sodium chloride. That is stoichiometry refers to the ratio of the number of constituent particles present in that particular substance. Okay, na? That is simplest ratio of the, yes, it is whole number ratio of the constituent particles present in given crystalline solid. That is called as yes, it is stoichiometric ratio. That is right, 1:1. In this particular case, the stoichiometric ratio will be 1:2. That is, for every 1 calcium, there will be 2 chloride ions. For every 2 chloride ions, there will be 1 calcium ion. Like that, you know, that is called stoichiometric ratio. That is. As far as stoichiometric defects are concerned, one of the types of point defects where the stoichiometry of the crystalline solid will not be changed even though defect takes place. Or you can say the defect that does not alter, stoichiometry of the crystalline solid, that is called as stoichiometric defect. You know, ಇದು ಒಂದು sodium chloride, ideal sodium chloride crystal ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ before defects that will be the stoichiometric ratio is 1:1. defect ಆಗಿನ ಮುಂಚೆ stoichiometric ratio 1:1 ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. defect ಆದ್ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡಾನು, even after introducing a defect in a crystalline solid, this ratio will not be changed. That stoichiometric ratio will not be changed. defect ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, NaCl ratio ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, sodium to Na plus to Cl minus ion ratio ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ, 1:1 ಇರ್ತದೆ. That is what we call it as the defect, the point defect which does not alter, the point defect which does not alter the stoichiometry of the crystalline solid. That is called as yes, it is stoichiometric defects. Whereas in the case of non-stoichiometric defects, you know, the stoichiometry of the crystalline solid will be changed after the defect. Once the defect is introduced in a crystalline solid, stoichiometry will be changed. That is called as non-stoichiometric defect, and of course impurity defect. We are going to discuss these two in details, you know, in the later discussions. And before that, you know, we'll go for the what we call it as yes, it is stoichiometric defects first. One of the types of, yes, it is point defects. It will be stoichiometric defects. Okay. And these the stoichiometric defects are also called as, that is, stoichiometric defect. Yes. These stoichiometric defects they are also called as what we call it as thermodynamic defects. They are also known as thermodynamic defects. Yes, because these defects depend upon what we call it as temperature variations. These defects are caused by temperature variations in a crystalline solids. Because of that, they are also known as what we call it as thermodynamic defects. Okay, na? We'll see one by one. That is stoichiometric defects. In the stoichiometric defects, you know, we have two types. One, it will be, yes, it is vacancy defect. One, it will be vacancy defect. Second, it will be interstitial defect, interstitial defect. Third, it will be Schottky defect. Third, it will be Schottky defect. Fourth, it will be Frankel defect. And fourth, it will be Frankel defect. Yes, yes. Vacancy defect, interstitial defect, Schottky defect, and Frankel defect. Yes. These are the four kinds of defects that you will find in the case of stoichiometric defects, where this as far as these two are concerned, first two, they are found in the case of non-ionic solids. They are found in the case of non-ionic solids, and these two are found in the case of ionic solids. They are found in the case of ionic solids. E clarity ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. That these two are found in the case of non-ionic solids, and these two are found in the case of ionic solids. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, yes, it is vacancy defect is similar to the it is Schottky defect, and interstitial defect is similar to the it is Frankel defect. Vacancy defect and Schottky defects are one and the same. Interstitial defect and Frankel defect are both are same, but the only difference between these two is in the case of vacancy defect and interstitial defect, such type of defects are observed only in the case of non-ionic solids, where the constituent particles are not ions. Whereas in the case of Schottky defect and Frankel defect, these two defects are found in the case of ionic solids, where constituent particles are cations and anions. That's the major difference between these two types, and we'll see one by one. Ionic defects, yes, it is interstitial defect, then we'll come to the it is defects in ionic solids, right? We'll see that. What about this vacancy defect? Yes, very simple. Vacancy means empty space in a crystal lattice, right? Yes, it is. Imagine one crystalline solid. Yes, imagine one crystalline solid. Yes, this is perfectly ordered arrangement of the particles. There is a perfectly ordered arrangement of the particles you will find here. Yes, it is. This is what we call it as one crystalline solid. Yes. No, and of course, lattice points are occupied by non-metallic, non-ionic particles, ಅಥವಾ maybe atoms or molecules. Non-ionic particles. Non-ionic particles are ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Atoms or yes, it is molecules. The constituent particles are atoms or molecules. They are neutral particles. Yes. Imagine this is one ideal arrangement of the particles in crystal, and we don't find any defects here. There is a orderly arrangement of the constituent particles. Okay, na? By some reasons, if some of the it is particles in the lattice or it is missing, if some of the particles are missing from their lattice points, if some of the particles, some of the atoms or molecules are missing from their lattice sites, and that results in what we call it as vacancy defect. Vacancy defect refers to the missing of the particles from their actual lattice sites, in a given crystal lattice. That is what we call it as vacancy defect. If some of the particles, maybe atoms or molecules, if they are missing from their actual sites, from their normal sites, and that is what we call it as vacancy defect. And some particles are missing. Then I think a defect is created, and that vacant site is created. Illond vacant site ಬರುತ್ತೆ, illond vacant site ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That is what we call it as it is defect. Okay na? And of course, due to the missing of particles, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The mass of the unit cell decreases. The particles miss ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Mass of the unit cell decreases. Therefore, vacancy defect leads to the decrease in density. Yes, it is. Vacancy defect leads to the decrease in density. Vacancy defect leads to the decrease in density. ಹೌದಾ? ಈ ವೇಕೆನ್ಸಿ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And of course, you can also expect, the mechanical strength of the given crystalline solid decreases. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ imperfections ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? That will directly affects on what? Mechanical strength, and that is what we call it as vacancy defect. Yes, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. Next, second one is interstitial defect. Second one is interstitial defect. Yes, this is the interstitial defect. It is, right? Imagine one, yes, it is orderly arrangement of the constituent particles. Interstitial andre Yes, it is in between particles. And of course, you can find here, this is one orderly arrangement of the particles. Howda? Look at this. These are the interstitial sites, the vacant spaces. Okay, na? These are the vacant spaces found in given crystal structure. That is what we call it as, yes, it is interstitial sites. This is normal sites. Yen particles enideyalla, ee particles elleli ideyalla avella kuda normal sites. Ade empty space ನೀವೇನು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that is what we call it as interstitial site, or you can say that you can call it as void, you can call it as, yes. Okay na? And of course interstitial defect refers to the dislocation of particle from its actual site into the interstitial site. Nodi, if there is a dislocation of particle from its actual site into the interstitial site, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅದರ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಇಂದ ಇಂಟರ್ಸ್ಟಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಗೆ ಬಂದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. Instead of this, if it occupies this particular interstitial site, this is ನೋಡಿ interstitial space, ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂತ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಈಗ, it is occupying interstitial site created by the four particles, and that is what we call it as interstitial site. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂತ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, yes, this leads to what? Interstitial site. It is due to the dislocation of a particle from its actual site into the interstitial space in a given crystal lattice, and that is called as interstitial site. This is one possible interstitial site, interstitial defect, where, yes, it is, this is one possible interstitial defect where no change in density, right? No change in density. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ no particles are missing, particles are not missing, simply they are dislocated from their actual site into the interstitial site. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ no change in the mass, no change in the volume, and therefore no change in the density as far as interstitial defect is concerned. ಅದೇ ನೋಡಿ, interstitial defect ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, right? You can also find interstitial defect can also be of this type. ನೋಡಿ, imagine one crystalline solid. Yes, it is. This is one crystalline solid. Okay, ಇದೊಂದು crystalline solid ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Yes, okay na? And just observe there, how many particles are there? Yes, it is around 18 particles are there in a lattice. ನಿಮ್ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುವಂತದ್ದು millions and millions particles are there in a lattice, but ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಿರೋದು 18 particles ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? 18 particles ಇತ್ತು. ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗಿನ ಮುಂಚೆ 18 particles ಇತ್ತು, ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ 18 particles ಇತ್ತು, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, this is one normal, yes, it is ideal arrangement of the particles, right? ಓಕೆನಾ? ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್. ಓಕೆನಾ? by due to some reasons ಏನಾಗಬಹುದು, if extra, yes it is, if extra non-ionic particles are occupying, ಓಕೆನಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, that the particle of the same unit cell, the particle of the same crystal lattice was dislocated from its actual site to the interstitial site, from here to here, and this particle belongs to this unit cell. ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ, some extra particles are being introduced, some extra non ionic particles are introduced in interstitial sites. ಇದು ಕೂಡ interstitial defect. By any means, if some extra non-ionic particles are introduced in, yes, it is interstitial sites of the, yes, it is given crystal lattice, then that also leads to what? Yes, it is interstitial defect. Okay na? If the defect takes place in this manner, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Density increases. If the defect takes place in this manner, density increases. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Density ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If the defect takes place in this manner, density increases. If the defect takes place in this manner, density remains the same. And these two are interstitial sites, interstitial defects. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ interstitial defect is due to the dislocation of a particle from its actual site into the interstitial site, or it may be due to the introduction of it may be due to the presence of some extra particle at the interstitial sites of the given lattice. It may be due to the presence of some extra particles at the interstitial sites of the given lattice, and that is called as interstitial defect. Agboda? So in the next class we'll see defects in ionic solids. In the next class we'll see defects in non-ionic solids. Okay na? We'll see that.